Hey guys, me and Smalls are back here again. Second video of the day. Go ahead and give this a like on your way in and subscribe if you aren't subscribed, and tell us in the comments what you think of our video. We're going to go over some of the lighter moments in the trial. This video is more just for fun. This video is a break from the seriousness of what is going on. Let's start off with why it's titled Why or What If Anything. Guys, can you hear Steve in the background? He's not happy right now. All right, let's start with this.
What if any, what if any, what if any,
What if any?
who if anyone, what if any, who if anyone, what if anything, what if anything, snow on any snow.
You never once heard her say, I hit him, I hit him, I hit him.
I hit him, I hit him.
What if anything,
I hit him, I hit him, I hit him, I hit him.
who if anyone else,
I hit him, I hit him.
I hit him.
what if anything, who if anyone.
When your own witnesses are staring at you, the problem is your questions.
What if any observations, or what if anything did you know in regard to sort of tactile observations? What if anything,
What if any?
what if any,
What if anything? What if anything?
what if any other, what if anything,
It was snowing heavily.
what if anything,
I was operating the leaf blower.
who if anyone,
Had you ever used a leaf blower in a crime scene preservation effort?
First time.
First time?
And he was there with the leaf blower.
who is operating the leaf blower?
I am.
What if anything, and what if anything,
What if any's?
Stop and Shop. It says Stop and Shop.
Oop, there it is.
Plastic cups with the coagulated blood. 39?
Oh,
39?
Oh my God. You've got to be joking me.
39?
Look at that.
what if any, who if anyone,
what if any? What if any? Who if anyone? I'm going to be saying that.
Have you ever used evidence tape before?
No,
Sure I have. I don't recall off the
Not
top
my
of
job.
my head.
he doesn't recall using evidence tape ever.
About 7 or 8 high tops, 4 or 5 low tops.
high tops and the low tops, there was a storm coming, correct?
Interviewed at 5:30 p.m. on February 10th, correct?
Correct.
Where did that interview take place?
At my home in Canton.
Who
Not
was
at the
present for
station.
that interview?
Me, my husband, Trooper Proctor, and Trooper Bukaki.
Buchanan.
Trooper what now? Trooper what now?
Michael Proctor,
Bukaki. Bukaki.
Michael Proctor.
I was not ready for that.
What if anything,
Have butt dialed
what if anything that had been piled up on your front lawn, what if anything was,
What, if anything,
the high top table.
and what if anything,
was butt dialed Mr. Higgins?
You started having adulty time, and then during that adulty time, you accidentally butt dialed Brian Higgins.
what if anything did you observe?
Like a black blob.
I would guess it's the tailgate.
So you can't guess.
I can only assume it is.
So you can't assume.
I would assume Bud Lights, I guess. It might be guessing at the time. If I had to guess, I would say maybe half.
Objection, is there a question?
Hey, Lally, everyone's been real respectful of the objection, no speaking. So don't start popping off with this. Is there a question? Because, sir, have you met you? Let this defense attorney ask a question, Lolly. Nobody has interrupted you except for me when you can't hear me. No one has objected to you asking sort of kind of what, if anything, were you wearing when, who, if anyone, was driving, and where, if anywhere, they parked around the other apparatus that were present. No one cut you off. For 9 days, we have listened to you say what, if anything, hundreds of times. And now you have the audacity to say, is there a question? Sir, take all of the seats and give it a minute.
All right, so that is why. What if anything? Who if anyone was driving the ambulance? Yeah. Good old Lally. One of the truest things that Lally has said in this trial is the following.
Away from the facts of the case and what the evidence of the case is, and more so is just there's no evidence of anything in this case.
I'm beginning to feel that way. There's no evidence of anything in this case because surely he would have showed it to me by now. All right, so let's get into my presentation here. If I can find it. There it is. All right, so I made a list of what, if anything, has Lally proven. He has proven that John was an amazing guy. I think we can all agree on that. It was snowing. Everyone was drinking. At least 5 people were drinking and driving. Brian Higgins, Brian Albert, Matt McCabe, Ricky D'Antano, and Karen Reed. Canton varsity girls basketball lost in overtime to Foxborough that night. Brian Albert, Chris Albert, Matt McCabe were in a diet competition for charity. There was a band at the waterfall Friday night, but I don't know why Lally didn't ask the most important question. We don't know what kind of music they were playing. We don't know if it was a country band, a rock band, what kind of band it was. Karen really wanted to go to D&E for pizza after the waterfall. You can get to 34 Fairview by going by Bella's house. At the Canton Fire Department, you work a 24-hour shift, and if it's snowing, you get up early and shovel the apron. Canton PD knows nothing about collecting evidence, maintaining a crime scene, or separating witnesses for interviews. CF McCarthy's is across from the waterfall. Chris Albert lives close enough to walk to work and the bars. Police reports and court transcripts are apparently inaccurate. A lot. And butt dials are still a thing. Karen Reed drove a black Lexus SUV. Jen McCabe had peanut butter and jelly and a loaf of bread in her SUV. Brian Higgins drives a gray Jeep Wrangler with a 6-foot 8-inch plow on it. Brian Albert has pictures of his son who's in the Marines, but I'm not sure where in the house they are. John and Karen were getting along that night. Everyone had a good time at the waterfall. CF McCarthy's video is a lot better than the video from the waterfall. Karen had a glass of clear liquid under her coat when she got to waterfall. Caitlin Albert is high maintenance. If you call Kurt Roberts a pussy, he'll meet you at the bar. Carrie Roberts will be in a mood if Kurt doesn't shovel the driveway before she gets home. Karina Kolakithis wants her husband to treat her like John was treating Karen. Michael Camerano will shovel your driveway for you. You don't wear shoes in John's house. He was a neat freak. Brian Higgins needs to work on his flirty text game. John and Karen had an argument in Aruba. If you don't keep your voice up, Bev will turn off the fans and it gets hot. Brian Higgins is not a beer guy. It's just Jameson and gingers for him. Brian Albert sleeps with his and Nicole's phones and his reading glasses in the bed. Julie Albert brings Brian Jr. 6 donuts on his birthday. It's their ritual. Brian and Nicole Albert are in a group text with Jen and Matt McCabe. John watches Ring app on his phone all the time. Chloe slept in Brian and Nicole Albert's room until she was rehomed. Colin Albert tears his knuckles up quite often. January 29th is Brian Jr.'s birthday. Tristan Morris left the waterfall to get some rest because he had to plow later. Brian Albert, Kevin Albert, and Brian Higgins were in New York City for a police officer's funeral. Karen Reed broke her right taillight at some point. Karen Reed likes to pay for things and spoil kids. Jen McCabe has MS. Jen McCabe Googled, "Haas long to die in the cold." John O'Keefe and Brian Albert were Boston police officers. Brian Higgins is an ATF agent. And Kevin Albert is a Canton PD detective. All of that has been proven. Now, in journalism classes, I can remember for a story, you need the who, what, when, where, why, how. So I know who, John O'Keefe died, right? What, he died. Who, what, when. Apparently in the early morning hours of January 29th. Why? I have no idea. And how still hasn't been proven. So there we are. All right, let's take a look at some more of the funny videos. Some of these topics I just mentioned that Lally has proven to us. Let's start off with, this guy is a doctor. He is, I think he's an ER doctor. He's on TikTok, and he's going to talk to us about Colin's knuckle injuries. You remember when he caught himself on the driveway? Yeah.
I don't really spend a lot of time looking for that photo, but this was from a piece of thanks to That's News to Me. So you can see that there's a photo that involves what we call in emergency medicine as signs of a closed fist injury, or it is a closed fist injury. Now, the reason why that's important is because if you see that on an exam of a patient, you of course have to make sure that that injury isn't from one of violence, and you want to make sure that the patient is safe. But you also are curious, or should be curious, to know what caused the injury. Because if the injury was sustained from, for example, a punch to someone else's mouth, then that can lead to a very different treatment. Now, our knuckles are joints that have a thin layer of skin protecting them, and an injury involving a punch to someone else's mouth can lead to the transmission of normal bacteria that live in the mouth into the joint, which can lead to a dangerous infection that needs to be treated. Now, that infection can lead to a problem called tenosynovitis, or it can even lead to something like septic arthritis. These are very difficult infections to treat that can be life-changing for the patient. Now, back to the case, this person says that they sustained this injury from falling. And it reminded me about a case from a book about emergency medicine cases that I really like. It's called Bounce Backs. But this is literally the first case in this textbook. I just think that some of the education here is interesting. For example, one of the quotes from this book is, patients with CFIs or closed fist injuries often have a history of recent alcohol use, are notoriously non-compliant, and frequently offer an alternative explanation for the cause of their injury. Now, in emergency medicine, you kind of sometimes have to do a little bit of an investigation to make sure that you are getting the right treatment to the patient, because if that history is missed and that patient doesn't get the appropriate antibiotics, they could end up bouncing back to the emergency room with a worsening infection, and they could possibly even have permanent disability because of that crucial information that was missed. So my education here to my TikTok med students is that whenever you see an injury like that to the dorsal surface of someone's knuckles, on the outside of their fists, you always have to ask more questions. And one quote that I always remember from this book is, "Not even apes who walk on their knuckles use them to protect themselves when they fall." All right, I thought that was interesting.
I mean, I'm not going to argue with the man. He's a doctor. I didn't buy the explanation when I heard it, but you know. All right, here's another one.
From your discussions with Caitlin, what was the reason that you went back to 34 Fairview to pick her up and bring her home?
Objection.
Allow it. Why'd you do that?
Well, she's high maintenance. I didn't really want to have to deal with her.
She wanted to come home, is that correct?
Yes.
Now, with regard to that particular evening, January 28th, 2022, you mentioned at some point Mr. Camerano and or Mr. O'Keefe reached out to you.
They did.
And what was that in regard to? What was that conversation?
They reached out, they were at McCarthy's, the bar in Canton Center, and they wanted me to come up. And I was saying, no, I want to stay because there was a storm coming. And then he referred and called me a pussy. And sorry, I can't let that happen, so I had to go.
Fair enough.
So I had to go up there and.
Do you recall who it was that called you that?
It was Michael Camerano.
And there's a couple more times that we actually had a little bit of a laugh in the trial. Here's one.
Well, it doesn't take that long to drink a beer, does it? I mean, if you're sort of thirsty and in a hurry.
Is that a question?
Everything I say up here is a question.
Okay.
Just presume that.
All right. So.
Well, that wasn't. So. Let's.
And then one of my favorites coming from Yannetti.
Along with a bunch of other friends.
Of course, there are other friends, but
Miss Giannetti, please no more, of course.
Of course, Your Honor.
There's a few times that, I mean, just out of nowhere, you have to laugh. Sometimes you have to laugh. We all remember the Canton brainworms, right? I've got a video of that for us a little bit later. Jen McCabe's Google search. She didn't want to say it. She didn't want to say it. Wouldn't say it. So this was good.
Did you, in fact, use a phrase to Google search how long it takes for someone to die of extreme temperatures?
I did in the morning at the request of your client.
Okay. And what phrase did you use?
I'm not sure.
Really?
Correct. I was.
2.5 years of this, you don't know the phrase that you used?
Objection, Your Honor.
There's so many lies and misconceptions on social media.
No question.
Oh, I apologize. Okay.
Are you telling me you don't remember what Google search you put in?
Karen was screaming. My hands were shaking, and she was saying, Google hypothermia, how long does it take to die in the cold?
And what phrase did you put in your phone? I'm just asking you to say it.
Why don't you show me it?
You literally don't remember?
Again, she was screaming, Google hypothermia.
She did not want to say it. She did not want to say it. No, Jen. All right, let's see. Let's move on with the presentation. Okay, so that night, thanks to Lally, he has informed us what everybody was drinking. One person was drinking Coors Light. 2 people were drinking Mick Ultra. 5 were drinking Bud Light. 1 was drinking Miller Lite. 3 were drinking White Claws. 1 was drinking wine. 1 was drinking Captain and Coke. Then we have Matt McCabe with his vodka tonic with a splash of Crystal Light, and 1 Jameson and ginger. And Chris Albert bought a round of Fireball shots for everybody. Bud Light won the night with 5 people drinking, and White Claw was a close second with 3. We know that Karina Kolakithis had water, and Karen had a clear liquid in a glass. Could have been vodka, could have been water. Nobody seems to know. But these are the stats for the drinks that evening. And here we have the epidemic that is butt dialing. It's rampant in Canton, apparently. So the queen of the butt dial is Jen McCabe. Her stats are 7 butt dials and 7 butt hang-ups in 19 minutes, all done from her back pocket. That is some talent. And the masters of the butt dial are Brian Albert and Brian Higgins. Brian Albert had 1 butt dial and 1 butt answer, apparently while he was in an intimate situation with his wife, so we should call his booty call. And Brian Higgins had 1 butt answer and 1 butt call back. Yeah, he got a butt dial from Brian Albert, and then he butt called him back. Very weird. Theirs lasted 1 second and 22 seconds. So, round of applause for our butt dialers. And I have a video for you.
To Brian Higgins, at any point between 1:45 a.m. and 6:30 a.m. that night?
No.
You say you inadvertently called him at 2:22 in the morning.
Yes.
How did you inadvertently call him?
Well, I don't know because it was inadvertent.
So I have to explain that.
Well, it's kind of like a butt dial.
Kind of like a butt dial. All right.
Well, it's kind of like a butt dial.
With regard to the calls that were deleted from your phone, you were asked about this under oath at another proceeding, weren't you?
Correct.
And you claimed at another proceeding that you had an explanation for all these missed calls starting at 12:29, 12:41, 12:41, 12:43, 12:46, 12:47, 12:50. You have an explanation for that, right?
Can I see the report?
I'm asking you about your prior testimony.
And I'm asking
about these calls.
Yes, I'm asking, can I see it, please?
I'm asking you a different question. At your other at this other proceeding, which you were under oath.
Yes.
Right? You explained that these calls were These missed calls, incessant missed calls. What were they? You used a word. Matter of fact, it's 2 words.
I believe I used the word butt dials.
You claimed that every one of these calls was a butt dial. Is that right?
Yes.
So according to you, you literally butt dialed John O'Keefe's phone 6 times in the span of 19 minutes. Is that right?
I don't remember making any of those calls, so my assumption is I put my phone in my back pocket, and that was it. I believe I used the word butt dials.
You had an explanation for what that 22-second call may have been and what the prior call may have been, correct?
Yes.
What was your explanation?
Well, I used a phrase that people commonly used as a butt dial.
So you think it's possible that you may have butt dialed Brian Albert for a 22-second call that you're not aware of?
I think it's possible that he could have been inadvertently called back, but I have no recollection of that, nor did I have any conversation with anybody.
But you admitted...
Well, I used a phrase that people commonly used as a butt dial.
Oh, the butt dials. The butt
To Brian
dials.
Higgins, at any
Oh,
point...
sorry.
To Brian Higgins, at any point between 1:45 a.m.
Oh, my computer does not
6:30
like me
a.m.
right now.
that night.
No.
You say you inadvertently
Oh my
called
gosh.
him at 2:22 in the morning.
Yes.
How did you inadvertently call him?
Inadvertently. There's that word. So once again, we have Jen McCabe, queen of the butt dial, 7 butt dials and 7 butt hang-ups from her back pocket in 19 minutes. Very impressive. And masters of the butt dial, we have a butt dial and a butt answer, and a butt dial, or I'm sorry, a butt answer and a butt call back. And one had their phone in the bed with them and was in an intimate situation, a true booty call. And the other guy managed to do the butt call back while his phone was on his nightstand and his butt was in the bed. So very impressive from all 3. Round of applause. Congratulations. I don't have a medal for you. Okay, so there's some strange things happening in Canton. I think we can all agree on that. It's kind of like the upside down from Stranger Things. So the Sallyport video from the time of Karen's SUV arriving goes missing. Video from the library goes missing. The GPS in the DPW trucks and plows didn't work during the 29th blizzard. Life 360 wasn't working accurately that night. The Ring cameras in the Fairview neighborhood were down. There's no Ring video of John O'Keefe allegedly getting hit by a car. The Ring cameras at John's worked, but not when she came home. We don't see Karen come home, but we see her leaving later that morning to go look for him. And we all remember the riveting videos of his driveway being shoveled out by Michael Camberano and then later his brother Paul. So they were working, just happened to not work at that particular time. No one remembers anything, but a lot happened at 12:10 a.m. 12:10 a.m. is the golden hour in Canton. Higgins' Jeep could only be seen by certain people. Higgins' 8-minute speech at Chief Berkowitz's retirement went missing. Colin wasn't there when John was, but wait, John never came in, right? And the lead investigator didn't ask for the library footage to be backed up, but came back later wanting him to recreate it. Just some odd stuff going around. And then, like I said, you know, you've got the Canton brainworms. So I thought this video was great. It's called I Can't Recall. So we're going to take a look at that.
I don't remember if
I don't remember.
That was just a month ago, right?
Yes.
I don't recall.
I don't recall that.
I don't remember.
I don't remember. I don't.
I don't recall my interview.
I don't recall even.
I do not recall having.
I don't recall.
I don't know.
I don't remember if I was tired.
I don't remember specifically.
Do you remember it or do you not, Miss McCabe? That's a simple question.
That morning, I don't remember specifically what I Googled.
I mean, the Canton brainworms are running almost as rampant as the butt dial epidemic. I mean, if you go to Canton, be safe. You're going to forget things. You might start butt dialing people. I mean, there may have even been a butt swipe that opened a door at the Canton PD. It's crazy, 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 the things that happen in Canton. Got to be careful. And then we've gotten a few good memes out of this trial so far. Lally, who, if anyone was driving the ambulance, that was an actual question. Somebody made one, I call the snow to the stand, because, you know, we had to hear from literally every single witness that it was snowing. We have an image of the firefighter patch for Canton, Mass, and it says, I don't recall 2022. And then, of course, the Canton Police Detective Unit, will that be paper or plastic? Because of the Stop and Shop bag and the red Solo cups. And, well, you Googled Hoslong to die in the cold. Yeah. There's been a lot of funny videos. There's been, like I said, some good memes. One that I want to share. It's very catchy. I hope you like it. This is a song. We all remember Colin Albert in his lovely, what were they called? Advantage Boys video and Bang Bang, right? Well, this comes from that. If my computer will let me play it. There we go.
Seriously? I will fuck you up. I will beat your ass. I will fuck you up. Pull up, bitch. I will fuck you up. I will beat your ass. I will fuck you up.
Objection. Objection.
I will fuck you up. KO. Bang bang. I will fuck you up. You're a bitch, bro. I will fuck you up. I will beat your ass. I will fuck you up. Right?
Yeah.
The bang bang, the bang bang, pull up. The bang bang, the bang bang, pull up. Right?
Yeah.
The bang bang, the bang bang, pull up. The bang bang, the bang bang.
Yeah, I think my husband thought I was crazy for jamming out to that, but it's catchy. Am I right? I love it. I love it. So thank you for making that video, because it literally made my day, the day that I saw it and heard it. Like I said, I was just jamming. I will beat your ass. Bang, bang. Sorry. Okay, well, that's really all I have for you. I just wanted to kind of catch you up on what Lally has proven. There's still a lot left to prove, obviously. Maybe we're going to get there. I don't know. If you have any others that you want to contribute, throw them in the comments below. Let me know. What is the one thing that you most remember so far from this trial? Like, what's one fact that you know that you don't need to know, but you know it anyway, thanks to our guy, Lally? Leave it in the comments. Go ahead and give this a thumbs up, please, and get it out there in the algorithm. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Liking and subscribing help the channel a lot. They It means the world to me, and it's completely free. So like and subscribe, please. Like I said, that's all I got for you. Tomorrow's a full day of court. I will be working on a video for who testified yesterday and who testifies tomorrow. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.